In 1987, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird joined up with Serge Licence to help their indie comic book series, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, reach a whole new medium with a toy line and television series. Playmates Toys, looking to branch out in the boys' action figure market, took on the challenge to bring the lean green fighting machine to a kid audience. The result was the #1 running television series for kids for 5 straight years, and a toy line that would generate millions, if not billions, in global revenue. And it all started with these original 4 figures. In the summer of 1988, just before the premiere of the 2nd season of the television series, are Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello, and their courageous battle commander, or field commander, Leonardo. Safe to say, you are a nobody if you are not a fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. These figures literally exploded off of retail store outlets between the years of 1988 through 1989, and were the most hot commodities of those years. You couldn't go anywhere without seeing the Ninja Turtles in some form of another. They were on t-shirts, postcards, magnets. I mean, anything that you can think of had these 4 boys on them. And now we're going to take a close look at the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures. Each figure is about 5 or so inches tall. They each have the same turtle articulation, and that is they have the heads that go 360, the arms 360, swivel wrists, and of course they have ball jointed hips for free movement. While the figures are popular, you can't really help but look at how inaccurate to the cartoon they are. Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, when they were discussing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Playmates Toys, they were giving several different models of prototypes, I guess you could say, test shots, on what the figures could look like. They decided they wanted the toy line to look a little bit more like the comic counterpart, and therefore picked a sculpt very similar to what they were drawing in the comic books. So that's why we got the comic booky look for at least those first 4 figures. Another thing that was changed, the original bandanas, of course, were changed from red to different variations of color, so kids could tell. It'd be easier to tell each character apart. So the fun and lovable Michelangelo got a more orangey, got an orange bandana. Raphael kept the red. The cool-headed Leonardo got the nice little baby blue. And Donatello, I guess for some reason he got purple. I guess because you can't really give a green turtle a green headband. And yellow looked too much like orange, so I guess a sacrifice was made to give Donatello the purple bandana. It could be another one of those reasons why a lot of people don't really relate to Donatello as much as they do to Raphael, Michelangelo, and Leonardo. The paint job on each turtle is pretty basic. You have the mustard yellow bodies. Donatello has an olive green skin tone. Leonardo is got a little bit more of a forest green, I guess I could say. Raphael is your traditional green, and Michelangelo has the jade. Their grimaces, while they did work in 1988, after seeing some of the other figures released in recent times, they do look a little bit restrained. The eyes themselves are a little bit pie-shaped for Donatello. Very bland, if I do say so myself. It's just triangles. Leonardo has a very worried expression, and especially doesn't help that they positioned his head to always looking up. So therefore, it always looks like he's got very worried. It's actually very true to the character, though. Although he was cool and collected, he was also very unsure of himself. So while it may have not been an all-time favorite to play at, can't help but see how true to the characters they were. Raphael, I think, shows all of his teeth just to show how ticked off he really is. He's got more of a half-crescent eye, which I think would have worked better for Donatello, and this been more for Raphael. And then Michelangelo has much more of a, probably the most restrained look of all of the Turtles. Simply just because, well, he is the party dude, and even though he likes to fight, he does like to have fun a little bit more. Each Ninja Turtle action figure came with a weapons rack. And all these little accessories were attached. 2 Ninja Stars, 2 Turtle Fist Daggers. This one I think was made up. This one I think was made up for the actual toy line, because I've never seen this one in existence ever. And this little dagger, I do not know the actual names of these. And a comma. And you're supposed to take them and put them on these little weapons racks, but hardly ever do they stay put. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother. And each Ninja Turtle came with each of their signature weapons. Raphael came with the sais. Leonardo comes with 2 twin katanas. Although these are more of a Hollywood invention. A katana is a curved blade, and this straight blade never existed as an ancient weapon. To my knowledge, it doesn't. Michelangelo comes with the nunchakas. Very, very fragile weapons, because since they bend, create a lot of stress here, and they often snap. Very hard to find those complete. And of course, Donatello comes with the bow staff. And I guess because every single Ninja Turtle comes with 2 weapons, and Donatello really only needs 1, I guess to justify the $4 price point that these figures were commanding, they gave Donatello 2. And also, I guess, not to make Donatello feel left out. Another interesting thing, and I think it was one of the first times in a 5-inch market, I should say, the Ninja Turtles could actually holster their weapons. Or I should say, figures could holster their weapons. So you could take Michelangelo's nunchakas, and hoist them on like so. But I'm not going to do it all the way because I don't want to break my nunchakas. You understand, of course. Donatello, of course, is Bowstaff. So here they are, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures. Fun little figures, basic in design, but nevertheless, they are still cool today. I can't believe it's been 25 years. I've had these figures in my collection for a long time, and every time I look at them, I just go back to those wonderful, wonderful days of just playing in my room with either my friends or just by myself, creating imaginary adventures for these four brothers to have. Whether it's fighting the Shredder or, fighting the Joker alongside one of my Batman figures. Or even fighting Lord Zed when I grew into Power Rangers. The imagination knew no bounds. But whenever I was playing with toys, these four were always there. They are an integral part of my childhood, as much as they were to any childhood of anybody, any kid, boy, girl, who lived and breathed Ninja Turtles in the late 80s to the early 90s. As I said before, they were a merchandising giant. They were everywhere. And thanks for the 25th anniversary, people are now starting to remember, because these figures are being re-released again thanks to Playmates' Classic Collection. Although I do find some flaws with those figures. If they're the most affordable choice for you, I'd say go ahead and grab them. They are a piece of Americana. But if you would rather wait, maybe save up to own the four originals, the ones released with the 1988 date stamp, then I'd say just go ahead and wait. Either way, you will not be disappointed with these four action figures. This is Trans 8010, and I am signing off.